Hello everyone, this is Charles. I wanted to do a little Bible study search here to follow up on my first video. This one is going to be, I'm going to do a word study search on the word firmament. We're in the Blue Letter Bible. I'm going to hit the search button here so you can see everything from the get-go. As we scroll down, the King James Version, the word firmament occurs 17 times in 15 verses in the first book, Genesis chapter 1, verse 6, verse 7, verse 8, verse 14, Genesis 1:15, 1:20, 1:17, 1:20. Here we go, Psalm 19:1. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. Psalm 150, Ezekiel 122, 123, 125, 126, Ezekiel 10:1, and the prophetic book, like Ezekiel, Daniel, chapter 12, the last chapter in his book, we have the word firmament. Now let's go back up here for a moment to Psalm 19:1. Those of you familiar with the ongoing debate, flat earth v. the spinning spear heliocentric model, will know who Wernher von Braun is. He was the rocket scientist of probably number one guy, right, in the space program. And he had this verse put on his gravestone. The verse reads, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork." And I'm going to go into that here in a moment. But let's scroll down now to Daniel chapter 12:3, and this is interesting. "And they that be wise shall shine at the brightness of the firmament." That tells me the firmament is bright. And let's go up here. A lot of people don't read the King James, so let's go to the New International Version. These new, a lot of people, especially Judeo-Christians, they use the new versions. Oops. No concordance results for firmament in the New International Version. Well, let's try the New American Standard Bible. Let's do a search. New American Standard Bible here. The word search for firmament. 0 times in the New American Standard Bible. Well, what do you know? I think that about covers it. Most people either use one of those two or the King James. I'm not a King James only guy, but sometimes the King James is pretty good. It has the, unless you use the C.I. Scofield Bible, which has what they call the slant, and they take words out and put other words in, and they got all people confused and purposely misled, like I was for years. But we're on to them now, folks. Let's go to up here. See the option here for Strong's Concordance, and let's make sure this is the same word all the way through. H7549, 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 all the way through. There it is again. And back up to Psalm 19:1 just to make sure. H7549. And down to Ezekiel 8:75:49. Same word all the way through, folks. And that's about all I wanted to get across in this little short video as follow-up. The next part I'll do, we'll go into these scriptures where the word firmament is used in a little more detail. Here we have the Wernher von Braun gravestone, and we have here, he just got this little simple little how should we put this? He's speaking to us from the grave. The guy was a pretty smart guy, okay? He was a rocket scientist. You know how they always say, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. Well, guess what? This guy was, right? And he left us a clue, I believe, and we're going to go into that in a moment. I went to Wikipedia. I don't like Wikipedia, and I don't need to go into that right now, but a lot of people get their information from Wikipedia, so I went there on purpose, and we have, you scroll down to the bottom to this point, here's his gravestone, and it mentions, von Braun's gravestone mentions Psalm 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God, the skies proclaim the work of his hands. Well, they obviously didn't use the King James Version, and as we saw in the previous slides, they used either the New International Version. They used something other than the King James. And this is the point I want to make here. Why not use the King James Version, which has firmament, not skies? Completely different meaning between skies and firmament. And I believe that this is an example of deception by omission. People are going to come here, they're not even going to see the word, the actual word that's in the original Hebrew, which is raw-kee-ya, which is firmament, not skies. It could have been the heavens proclaim the work of his hands, because the Creator Elohim says in verse 8, I believe it is, that he called the firmament the heavens. But that isn't even here. That word heavens isn't even here. It's the skies. I firmly believe that Wernher von Braun, he gave us a big clue. And whether you see it that way or not, man, that's up to you. Here's the evidence, folks. We don't have to have 100% of the evidence to come to the conclusion that we don't live on a spinning spear heliocentric earth that does not have a firmament. Like if you do, subscribe and share.